Following this, the display cuts to the beyond. We get to recognize that Gokuakucho is struggling with conflicts within the gang when they were brutally assaulted. By means of their rival gang keys, fueled by means of a preference for revenge, Toshi the modern leader is decided to settle the score. In the next scene, Yuji roams the streets, observed with the aid of his gang members A and Ha. Along the way they stumble upon a excessive faculty scholar being bullied by using a institution of Yankees. Yuji and his comrades don't hesitate to intrude. However, the second the bullies apprehend them as individuals of Gokuakucho, they hastily retreat, snatching away the pupil gift. The unlucky student they rescue takes place to be Twasa, who had these days bought a hoop to present to a female. He admires Yuji, and his companions decide to delve deeper into the situation, keeping a cautious eye on the woman in query. Afterward they make their manner to the espresso shop in which the female works, and Sukesa learns her call is Kumi-chan. Meanwhile, the relaxation of the institution are at a loss for words through Sukesa unfamiliarity with Gokuakucho and the opposite local gangs. However, they quickly find out that he has currently moved to the region shifting beforehand. Yuji requests their leader Toshi to reconcile with the rival gang keys. However, he is involved that one of these paths ought to tarnish the popularity of their gang on the alternative hand. AG and Hizo believe that Toshi need to no longer be the only choice maker considering Yuji's position, because the second in command, hearing this, Yuji reflects at the time while their former leader gave them a truthful command elevate Gokuakucho to the position of the primary gang in Hiroshima. Considering his next pass, Yuji once more roams the streets and encounters Tsukasa inquiring amongst college students about his gift container. Quickly after, the two of them witness Kumi-chan being forcibly dragged via a collection of Yankees. Right away Sukesa tries to rush to her resource, however Yuji intervenes, affirming that there may be little he can do. Nevertheless, Sukesa disregards his advice and comes to a decision to take topics into his own palms. He dashes off to rescue Kumi-chan, most effective to discover that she's in the clutches of none aside from Toshi, the leader of Gokuakucho. At once, Toshi orders his underlings to train Sukesa a lesson, and they accomplish that all at the same time as Yuji and Hisa watch without intervening as Toshi forcefully drags Kumi-chan away. He slaps the terrible woman across her face. Suddenly this act ignites something within Sukesa, inflicting him to condemn Toshi for his lowly act of hanging a female. Enraged, the chief over again commands his underlings to punish Tsukasa, but ever this time he valiantly fights them off, displaying surprising bravery. Additionally, Sukesa questions Yugi and his companions tough why they are protecting someone like Toshi rather than defensive their gang Gokuakucho, stimulated by using his phrases. Yuji confronts Toshi, leading to a fierce altercation. Sukesa then assaults Toshi and lands a powerful punch on his face, rendering him subconscious. He then glances over at Kumi-chan, best to ought to be disheartened as she hurriedly rushes over to Toshi. Following the fight, Sukesa remains in low spirits, in particular upon studying that Kumi-chan is Toshi's younger sister. Furthermore, Yuji manages to get better his ring and palms it over to him, intensifying Sukesa's sadness at that. Second, AG asks approximately the future of Gokuakucho, and Yuji explains that they will adhere to the rule of thumb. Whoever beats the chief turns into the next leader. AG and Hisa exchange uncertain glances, and their eyes fall upon the brand new chief of Gokuakucho. Sukesa news of Gokuakucho's new chief speedy circulates to rival gangs Beast and Knights, stirring uncertainty inside the underworld. of Hiroshima. Meanwhile, AG is noticed in the alley with a woman named Ma who, as it seems, has ties to the opposing gang. Nights day after today, Yugi, AG, and Hisa acquire at a coffee keep, and Sukesa additionally joins them. Moments later, Kumi-chan methods their desk to carry her appreciation for Sukesa help from the day gone by. After she leaves, Hisao comments on the lucky accident that Kumi-chan is related to someone inside their own gang. Otherwise, Sukesa wouldn't have been allowed to rescue her. Yugi then famous that there is an extended standing way of life prohibiting any romantic involvement with a member from another gang to prevent conflicts no longer lengthy. After Yuji receives a phone name from one among his gang associates, who informs him that they have been attacked by the Knights, even though the Knights is the second leading gang in Hiroshima. Yuji firmly believes that they need to have had a compelling motive for such an movement in every other area. The leader of the Knights, Hero Problems, orders to his underlings to fetch him the lady who changed into with AG. He then proceeds to publicly reprimand her, maintaining that being involved with a member of a rival gang violates their set-up rules. Following this, Mater fearfully contacts AG to provide her apologies for inflicting problem inside his gang. However, AG cautions her to keep away from being determined with the aid of Gokuakucho. To his wonder, he turns round and realizes that Hayo has been eavesdropping on his conversation. Later on, Sukesa returns to the coffee save with a gift for Kumi-chan, but is met with a distressing scene. He discovers Yuji berating AG for breaking the gang's rule and affords him with an ultimatum to cease his dating with the girl. In shape of anger, AG storms out of the espresso keep, with Tsukasa trailing behind him because the communicates revealed that after AG and M first crossed paths, he became injured after a street fight, and M was the simplest girl who stopped to assist him. AG confesses that he did not first of all recognize she become related to the Knights. However, even after discovering her gang association, he couldn't deliver himself to depart her because he had fallen deeply in love together with her. Whilst he acknowledges the outcomes of his selfish actions, which caused his buddies being attacked, he additionally admits to feeling a deep experience of hurt inside himself. Later, Yugi sits alone at the espresso save when his SA rushes in to supply pressing news. The Knights have assembled their gang individuals and are planning an assault later that night, likely targeting Gokuaku. In the meantime, AG calls Yuji to make an apology for his moves, and then makes the tough selection to stop his relationship with Mika. Afterward, he heads to the Knights headquarters to talk with their chief hero and pleads with him to stop the attacks on Gokuakucho now that he is broken up with Mikalas. Hero doesn't take these broken policies gently, and as a substitute orders his underlings to area him. Terrible A endures a brutal beating till Sukesa, Yuji and he rush to the scene to intrude. They argue that policies that cause a chum to suffer are in the end useless and can be revised, but Hero is not mainly receptive to this idea, and the scenario escalates right into a bodily confrontation. Ultimately, Sukesa manages to overpower Hero inside the brawl, however, then humbly bows before him, soliciting for forgiveness for AG moments. Later, Ma arrives on the scene and also kneels earlier than Hero, pleading for his acceptance of AG. Noticeably, she confesses her love for him, as does AG in and sudden turn activities. The stern and rule-sure chief of the Knights abruptly departs, leaving them to follow their hearts and make their very own selections. Following those activities, Sukesa joins his partners on the espresso shop while Their Yuji brings up the audacity of their rival gang Keys, who dared to venture Beast and ended up defeated. Tsukasa, who stays unaware of the lifestyles of neighborhood gangs, is then added to Beast Hiroshima's pinnacle ranking and effective gang with nearly 3,000 members. Meanwhile, at Beast's headquarters, Kazu, the second one in command, marks Keys as the modern-day gang they have taken underneath their manipulate. Simply then, Kaori, the chief's lady friend, gets information of their latest victories over 3 other gangs, underscoring their widespread power and dominance in Hiroshima. Later on, Sakuragi, the 0.33 in command methods, Kazu expressing his desire to goal Gokuakucho, who have now risen to emerge as the second one maximum distinguished gang in Hiroshima after defeating the leader of Knight's Hero. But Kazu advises him to steer clear of Gokuakucho, revealing his friendship with Yuji. However, Sakuragi insists that personal feelings have to be set aside when it comes to gang topics. Later within the day, Yuji and his partners take a stroll through the streets whilst all of a sudden they're approached by Kazu. At the same time as the two buddies have a personal communique, Tsukasa inquires why Kazu isn't always a member of the Gokuakucho gang. It is then disclosed that Kazu crossed paths with Beast's leader Dano and turned into so impressed by using his electricity that he chose to join that gang as a substitute within the interim. Kazu methods Yuji with a request for his gang to join Beast. When this is brought up later, it involves light that Gokuakucho has remained untouched thus far because Kazu, serving as the second one in command, has stopped the others from taking movement. But upon their arrival at Gokuakucho's headquarters, they find out their fellow gang individuals brutally attacked by means of Beast. In reaction, AG, without delay, confronts Yuji, thinking whether his pal Kazu became deceiving all of them alongside. Later at Beast's headquarters, Yuji informs Kazu about the assault on Gokuakucho. However, distinctly the latter is completely blind to it. Inside the subsequent scene, AG directs his anger closer to Yuji, demanding to realize why Beast attacked them at that moment. He speculates that the